some of them came in a little bit late. So from the ones that I have seen, do quite a short one because you just you placed it in the end of a plan, but the ideas are fine. That's noisy. And Lucky, very good effort. So a lot more detail in Lucky's ending to the story, which is good. What I noticed from both of you and a lot of other students when they're writing their stories is just remember when you're now telling the story to use the past tense when you're using it, when you're writing it. So past tense verbs, because the story has happened. You're telling it from a point of view that the story has happened already. For example, so Duke, you said Ramona stays with Robbie, and that's fine for a plan. But if you're writing the actual story, you'd say Ramona stayed with Robbie all the winter. Does that make sense, Duke?
Okay.
But good effort. If the ideas are good, that's fine. Similarly, Lucky, you say Robbie can't fly south for the winter. That's good for a plan, but story would change can't to couldn't, so it'd be in the past tense again. So this goes for everyone really, because I've seen it in a lot of stories. So planning, it's okay to do it in any tense really. In the present tense is fine because you're just generating ideas. But then when you're actually writing the story, use the past tense. One more example, everybody, what is the past tense of study? So past tense of study is?
Study.
Studied, yeah. So past tense of finds is? Found, yeah. So you use the past tense when you're telling a story because it has happened. But very good efforts, those that I've seen. But we'll look at them again after lesson as well, because some of them came in late. All right, now then. Who could be gone? Jackie, I don't usually start with you. Jackie, could you read the title?
The title is Interesting Beginnings.
So a fictional story, interesting beginnings.
Fictional story, interesting beginnings.
All right, and Jackie, can you read the sentence just below it? When people... Jackie, can you read the sentence as well? When people write stories.
When people write stories, they want the beginning to grab the reader's attention so that the readers will be interested in the story and will want to keep reading.
Reading, there we go, yes indeed. So interesting beginnings. So the first one, as you can see, everyone on the screen, is from Charlotte's Web. Sam, could you read the opening line or opening 2 lines from Charlotte's Web?
Where's Papa going with that axe? Said Fern to her mother as they were setting the table for breakfast.
Indeed. So first question I'm going to ask is, what tense are the verbs in this story, in this sentence? So we've got said. So is that present tense or past tense? Everyone? So if say is the present tense, said is the past tense. Very good. And if we got were, is that past tense or present tense?
Past tense.
Past tense, yes. So story's going to be written in past tense, just to remember that in future. Now, so it says, where's Papa going with that axe? Said Fern as her mother, to her mother as they were setting the table for breakfast. What might you be interested to know about this story straight away? So the character Fern wants to know something. So maybe the reader also wants to know where. Do we know where Papa is going with the axe?
No.
So that would be the author trying to make you interested in where what is going to happen next. And straight away, where's he going with that axe? So it's trying to get your imagination wondering about what's going to happen next. All right, this one might be more interesting to you then. Taylor, could you read the intro to 2001: Space Odyssey?
2001: A Space Odyssey. The drought had lasted now for 10 million years, and the
Reign
of the terrible lizard had long signed end.
All right, so what might you be interested to know about this story just from the opening line? What does it talk about?
Terrible lizard.
Terrible lizards. And is it talking about recent history or is it talking about a long time ago?
Long time ago.
So maybe we wonder about the scale of this story. It could be a story told over a long time. All right, we'll keep going. Again, you'll notice that was in the past tense as well. All right, so this is the opening line to Harry Potter. Lucky, could you read it, please?
Mr. and Mrs. Dursley of number 4 Private Drive was proud to say that they were perfectly normal. Thank you very much.
All right, okay. Is anyone interested about anything from that sentence, or is it not interesting? What might you be interested to learn about or find out from the opening line? All right, Lucky.
Were proud to say that they were perfectly normal.
All right, does it sound like they are trying to sound like they're normal, or maybe they're not normal?
Yes.
Yeah, I think so. It sounds like because they say thank you very much at the end. It's like they're trying to pretend that they are very normal, but then we'll find out later on that they're maybe not quite so normal. They have a unusual nephew. All right, last one. Sophia, could you read the intro for The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe?
Once there's 4 little children. His name was Peter, John, Nadine, and Lucky. This story is about something that happened to them when they are set away from London during the wars because of the area.
Very good. Just remember that. So when they were, so past tense, were sent away from London during the war. So we had were and war. So all right, so what might be interested to learn from this story? What has happened? We know that there's
4 children's name. No.
So we know there was a war and that 4 children have been
Sent
away.
sent away from London, sent away from home. So you might be interested to find out what happened to
watch this film or read this book now.
Sorry?
I want to read this book now.
Ah, brilliant. That's exactly what is, because this probably was the most interesting one. Why do you want to read the book now?
Because I don't know why the war was start and what happened to the kids.
Perfect. That's exactly what the author wants you to feel. He wants you to feel interested in what happens to the characters and want to know why these things are happening as well. Sam, I'm glad it had that effect. That's very good. All right, so writing an interesting beginning is important to grab your readers, make them want to carry on reading your story. And that's what we're looking at today. Now then, who we're not spoken to yet? Banana, just to recap then, can you say again this line?
When people write stories, they want to begin to grab the reader actions so that the reader will be interested in the story and will want to keep reading.
Very good. So yeah, just say attention. Banana.
Attention.
So you grab the attention, so they will be interested. All right, good job. All right, so the book we were reading recently was, of course, Dex, the Heart of a Hero. Can everyone read this very short line?
There was a dog.
There was a dog.
Thank you, Duke and Emma.
That was plain and don't have anything to read.
Exactly, Sam. It's very plain. It's very plain.
Have good information.
It doesn't have good information. Very good. Now, can everyone read the next one?
There was a little dog.
He looked like a plump sausage sitting on meatballs. That was better.
All right. And the question is, if you raise your hand, why is the author's one better? Why is the author's one better?
Because they first
Sam, can you raise your hand first?
how to know the size of text.
Very good, Sam, but please raise your hand before shouting out. But can you say again, Sam? So what do we know from the opening
That
line?
we know that what his body looked like and
Very
what
good.
sides of him.
Absolutely, we know what he looks
Then
like.
it was clearly to recognize him.
Ah, very good. So yeah, you get an idea, or your imagination is fine, so you know what he'll look like. Very good. What type of phrasing is? Where is it? He looked like a plump sausage. What is that called? What literary device? It's a
I forgot the word.
simile. Yeah. So use a simile to help the imagination. Very good. Also, if you're saying the character looks like a plump sausage, is that boring or is that a little bit funny?
Funny.
Yeah, it's a little bit funny as well. So that also will grab the attention of the reader. All right. But like you said, it paints a vivid picture so you can imagine what's going on. But what helps the reader imagine Dex? So what does help him help the reader imagine Dex? So like you said, what type of language does the author use?
Sight, simile.
So yeah, uses similes and what? So all these words that appeal to your senses, they are called sense. Remember?
Sense word.
Sense words. So
That's
the
what
sense words are mainly size and visual related. So little, body's got a simile that makes you imagine as well. There's not a metaphor, but yes, what authors will do is use similes, metaphors, sense words to help you to do what? To help you
imagination.
Yeah, help use your imagination, help spark your imagination. And just to read the answer, someone I haven't spoken to Moon. Moon, could you read the part underneath the question? Here.
Author used describing language help the reader imagine. Writers can use sense words, similes, and metaphors to indicate their reader imaginations.
Very good. All right, well done. And just as a bonus question, what tense is it written in? If we look at the verbs.
Past tense.
Past tense. There we go. All in the past tense. Very good. All right. Okay, next bit. Okay, we've not spoken to, who do I start with? Mango. I haven't spoken to him. Mango, you turn camera on, please, and just read the question. The two questions.
What interesting detail could we write to make this more interesting? Dexter was a little dog.
All right, and keep going, Mango.
What are some interesting details about Dex? You can use details from the story or use your imagination.
So yeah, so it doesn't have to be exactly what's in the story. You can use your imagination. So if we're going to continue this sentence, so everybody, can we say the pink line?
Dexter was a little dog. He was so little.
Dexter was a little dog.
He was so little he could, what could a small animal or small dog do that a big animal could not? All right, Emma?
They cannot run fast and be strong.
Okay, that's a couldn't. What could? Actually, I'll do that one next. I'll do that one first. It's all right, Emma. All right, so he couldn't what? What couldn't he do? He couldn't run fast.
He couldn't run fast and play with the other bigger dog.
I know what he could.
All right, Sam, what could he do? Thank you, Emma, that was good.
He could kind of small dogs can climb into small holes or something.
Yeah, that's good. He could climb into small holes that other big dogs couldn't. Very good. Anyone else think of anything he could do because he was so small? Any hands? What could Puppy? There we go. Puppy. What maybe could he do because he's so small?
He could run over Clavis.
We'll say again. He could run.
Over Clavis body.
Okay, I heard the run over, but I didn't hear run over what? Run over the.
Clavis, the tomcat.
Run over Clevis. Okay, because Clevis is so big, he's like okay, all right, run over.
It was under.
Yeah, under I would have thought as well, but we'll go with under.
But Mr. Brandon, why do in the center climb into small holes? Why do we change to walk?
Yeah, that's fine, but climb into small holes. You can climb into small holes. You can walk into small holes, but climb is okay.
How can I climb?
Well, if you think it's just a choice, Emma. If you wanted to put walk, that's fine.
Okay, bye.
But yes, fair enough. I can understand where you're coming from, but it's just a choice of whoever's writing. And you will notice as well, because we have could and couldn't, which are past tense, the next verb does not have to be past tense. So if you're saying he could, because that makes it past tense, you can say he could climb, that's present, that's fine. As long as the first verb is in the past tense, that one dictates what tense you're writing in. All right, next one, we're going to try a simile. So he was like. So Dexter was so little, he was so little, he was like what? What could he be like? Obviously, any hands up? Sam.
He looked like a plump sausage sitting on 4 meatballs.
There we go. Plump sausage is one we could put, absolutely. So that's from the story. Very
plump.
good.
Yeah.
So can anyone think of another simile? What? Because he's a small dog, very long, a small long dog. Any other sausage? Any other similes? It doesn't have to be exact. All right, fair enough. We'll stick with the one from the story. He was like a plump sausage, etc. What about a metaphor? What is the difference between a simile and a metaphor? So what word do we not say for a metaphor? We don't say
Like what the dog? He was
Like.
the dog.
That's not a metaphor because he actually is a dog. So remember, a metaphor is saying he is something else to help the reader's imagination. So instead of saying he was like a sausage, simply, I suppose we could say he was a sausage. But is there anything else we could say he was? What's a small animal? What's a small animal that we could say he was?
Oh,
An ant. He was an ant. There you go. Put an. He was an ant. There we go. So you could say he was an ant compared to his friends. He was an ant compared to the other animals. Good idea, Duck. All right. Boom, boom, boom. There you go. Label those. There you go. Simile and metaphor. Well done. All right. Next one. Anybody who can tell me what word might be able to go in here in this gap? All right, Emma.
all the other dogs make fun of him.
There we go. That works. All the other dogs. Would it be made fun of him or make fun of him?
I don't know.
Past tense. So make or made.
I
Would you-
said
Made.
Made, yeah. So past tense would use made fun, and that'd be of him. So it doesn't quite work with at, but yeah, made fun of him. That works. All right, Duck. What else might fit in there?
all the other dogs ignore at him.
Ah, okay, that
Ignored.
works too. Ignored him, but yeah, I wouldn't use at, but yes, ignored him. That's good. Again, past tense for ignore, so ignored him. That works. Very good. In this picture, so down the bottom right, where's my pen? Here we go. What do we see these dogs doing?
I know.
Oh, Emma's hands up again. All right, Emma. Laugh. There we go. So laugh was the one I was thinking of. For laugh at. Very good. Hold on a minute. I'll write it in. But all of those are good answers. Just make sure they're in the past tense. All right. Very good. Now then, next one. Blue Moon. I haven't spoken to you yet today. Blue Moon. How could we end this sentence? All the other dogs thought he was. So how do you, or what do you think the other dogs thought about him? Do you think they respected him? Do you think they thought he was cool?
Brown sausage.
Say again.
Brown sausage.
Thought he was a large sausage. Yes. All right, that works. That's a very good answer. Can anyone else think of anything or how else they'd answer that sentence or finish that sentence? All the other dogs thought he was. Any hands up? Oh, just scrolling through. All right, there we go. Who's that? Puppy. There we go. Puppy.
All the dogs thought he was bigger than her.
Thought he was bigger than.
First.
Bigger than. Sorry, I can't hear the last word again.
First.
Oh, I still don't know.
Bigger than her.
Than
Bigger
before.
I definitely can't hear if there's two people talking. Sorry, Puppy. Sorry to ask again. Can you say again?
All of the dogs thought he was bigger than her.
Then it sounds like first to me.
Yes, but I think before is better.
So if we're talking about Dex, so bigger than. Still not sure I understand. Can you type it, Puppy, in the chat box?
She mean that
Busy.
Dax was bigger than the time that he was small.
Ah, okay. So this is about thinking about the end of the story after he's done his training. Yeah. So when he gets a bit stronger and a bit bigger.
Because first the carry of the dog is waiting here to go.
Okay.
mean that one. Jax didn't become a hero. Jax was a little.
Yes. So if we're saying we're talking about Dex changing, that happens at the end of the story. So this would be a good line for at the end of the story after the other animals think and see that he's grown stronger, he's become a hero. But it is a good line, but it would be for the end of the story rather than the beginning at the moment. But yeah, certainly at the end of the story, all the other dogs thought he was bigger than before. That would work at the end of the story. All right. All right, we'll try last thing. All right, what did Dexter dream about? So Dexter dreamed that he was a what?
Hero.
He was a hero, Lucky.
Hero.
Indeed. All right. Okay, so all these things are all part of description, making an interesting description of the character. So we can use similes, we can use metaphors, we can use comparisons of what he could and couldn't do. We can talk about what the other characters do or say about him or think about him. All these things to make it a little bit more interesting. What do we all notice about the verbs when we talking about Dex? All the verbs are in what tense?
Past tense.
They're all in the past tense. Indeed, very good. All right. So, Kirge, who can we ask? Taylor, I haven't spoken to you for a while. Taylor, could you read this part at the bottom?
We write story as if they have happened, so we should have use the past tense. Use the simple past tense to avoid confusing your reader.
All right, there we go. And we're going to have a go at this now on this page. So I'd like you to write a description of Dex. So you can use your imagination or you can use information that you learned in the book. The writing is on. So how would you describe Dex? So Dex was a little dog, but you want to say more than that. How can you describe Dex? I'll put the timer on for 2 minutes. It doesn't have to be super long. How would you describe Dex? And type it either in the chat to me or on the screen. Yes, Doug?
If someone have the same thinking,
That's all right.
mean it is copy?
Not necessarily, because I mean, it is the same character, isn't he? So I mean, I imagine there will be similarities between what a lot of you say, and that's okay. Just remember, if you're using verbs, use the past tense. So, descriptions of Dex. So, what did he look like? What did he do at the start of the story? What type of dog is he?
Oh, I don't know.
Emma, so what we were just talking about. So, what could he do? What couldn't he do? What did he look like?
I didn't think of anything. Mr. Brandon. Mr. Brandon.
Yes, Moon.
How do I sausages?
Oh, sausage. I'll write it on the board.
Okay.
Will be useful for everyone. So sausage is like that. Can you see in the top left above Sophia's name? All right, thank you, Doug. If you are struggling to think of things, you can just use size, color, maybe even if you,
will write tomorrow.
that's okay. Yeah, this is for everyone. If you're struggling, you can think of size, color, things like that. Here we go. Who was that? Here's Sophia. Thank you, Sophia. All right, that is time up. I'll give you a little bit extra. B-R-O-W-N.
B-R-O-W-N. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Sam. Getting them coming through now. A little hot dog. Yeah, that works. Okay, that's good. Good, Mango. Something slightly different. Very good. Who's at the top there? Lucky. brown bread, small and weak. There we go. Looks like, so giving your own simile. Small and weak. Description: Sam Dex was tiny, small dog. His leg was small. He was short, just like a little brown chair. Yes, good. You're making up your own simile. Wonderful. Good. Moon Dex was a small little dog. He looked like a lump sausage sitting on 4 meatballs. Okay, cool. Good. Banana, Blue Moon, Jackie. Any ideas? Description of Dex. Taylor, can you send me one as well?
Mr. Brandon.
Yes, Duke.
Now what do I write?
Yeah, that's good. So yeah, added that Dex looks like plump sausage sitting on 4 meatballs. He has brown fur. Good. Who else is added? All right. So
What is a lump sausage?
what is a long sausage?
Yes, because you write lump sausage.
I think it's just a spelling mistake. Let's not pick on it too much.
Here, do you see lump?
Yes,
Okay.
I do see, Duke. I saw it when I read it. Mistakes happen. It doesn't matter. This isn't a final draft. It's okay. I got the idea. Dex was a long sausage and his feet looked like 4 sticks. There we go. Good job, Taylor.
What is a plum sausage?
Duke, can we stop shouting out? If you're asking about what is a
what is a plum sausage?
fat, plump is another word for fat. So plump is a fat. Blue Moon Dex looks like a large sausage. He helped people like superhero. Dex was a little dog. All right, fair enough. Yes. So in the beginning, maybe not the superhero bit, but yes, that is very good. Well done. Banana Dex looks like a plump sausage sitting in 4 meatballs. That's good too. So plump. Everyone. Yes, Dirk.
Yeah. Huh?
It's all right. I've seen it. I've seen it already. Look, don't worry if it deleted it. So Jackie, didn't hear anything from you. Emma, I didn't hear anything from you. We are going to do another one of these, so please join in the next one. All right, we're going to do another one, so don't worry about that. All right, Emma, can you read this question here?
What are some I don't know.
Interesting details.
Interesting detail about Dex training. You can use detail from the story or use your imagination. What special training could he do?
So this time we're not describing Dex, but we're describing what he did, his training. So if we think about it, so Dex started training. We're going to start with this as the start of our sentence. When did he train? When do you think Dex trained? So again, you can use your imagination. What time of day? Did he train all day? Did he train before the sun came up? Did he train at sunrise? When did he train? All right, Emma?
Every time.
All the time. When he trained. Okay, so you can say he trained all the time. All right, good. All right, I'll pick on people. How did he train? What did he do to make himself stronger? How did he train, Moon?
He run, he do push-up and few things.
Oh, press wrong button there. Whoops. All right, so how do we make that past tense, Moon?
He does.
So what's the past tense of run? Simple past.
Ran.
He ran. What else did he do?
He do push-up.
Do or did?
Did.
Did push-ups. Very good. And anybody else? What else might he done? What other exercises can we do in the past tense? Oh, Lucky, that's very good. Lucky, can you say what you put on the chat for when he started to train?
I started to train when the sun's still sleeping, but there was still mist.
There you go. So a bit of a metaphor there as well. Duck started to train when the sun was still sleeping. Very good. There was still mist. Change a couple of things there. Duck started to train when the sun was still sleeping. There was still mist. There we go. Yeah, they're very good indeed. So any more things he did to train? Could be either imaginary things, or real things that he did in the story. How did he get stronger? So he ran, he did push-ups. What else did he do? If we look at the picture, he's got some socks. What is he doing with the socks?
Pull it.
Yeah, fair enough. Okay, he's pulling or dragging socks. So he pulled. What did the socks have in them?
Sand.
And there we go. Things like that. All right, we'll go on to the next one. When did he wake up in the morning? What time do we think he woke up? So what's the past tense? He woke up at?
Early morning.
Woke up very early or in the early morning. Fair enough. And what did he do first? What do you think his first thing he did would be?
Running.
Running. What's the past tense? How do we make it a past tense sentence? So instead of saying running, we could say ran. So how do we make it a sentence though? So what did he do first? You might say the first thing
He do is ran.
There you go. Sorry, because I'm using was, that is the past tense verb. So after I've said was, as that's past tense, the following verb is present tense. So the first thing he did each morning was run. Where might he run? Where did he run?
On the sidewalk.
Where did he run? He could run anywhere. Did he run to the beach? Did he
On
run
the sidewalk.
on the sidewalk? All right. That's the stuff. Good. Okay. What food might he eat? I think that's the next question. Yeah. What did he eat to get strong? Again, use your imagination.
Healthy food.
Healthy food. There you go. How do you make it a past tense sentence?
He ate healthy food.
Some healthy food.
He ate healthy food. Very good. All right. And then I think got one more. So many things open. What exercise did? Oh, we've done that one already. That's all right. All right. When did he stop training? When did he stop? All right, Noon.
He stopped when his muscle is coming.
Okay. Yeah, fair enough.
When he feels his arm.
When his muscle is sore.
Just to give it a bit of emphasis, I'm going to put he only. He only stopped
When
sore. There was a word that was used in the story beginning with E, meaning very tired. Can anyone remember it?
It's house.
Exhausted. Yeah, very good. So exhausted. All right, very good. So these are all things, description of what he was doing. Now, what time is it? Didn't get through what I wanted to do today, but okay. Right, on to the next page. Oh no, we'll read the example first. So I'll clear these. So can everyone read the example?
That start training. He got up before the sun and raced around the block until he was around. He climbed around over and over again. He got
Again, so what do we notice about the verbs? All the verbs are
Past tense.
Thank you, Lucky. They're all in the past tense. Very good. All right. So we don't have very long, but that's gone too far. Maybe we'll try that one next time.
What is that? Creative.
Wrong one. No, it's not. It's the right one. All right. So you might recognize these as your plans, your story plans from about 2 weeks ago, 2.5 weeks ago. What you will need to do is find your story plans, and I'd like you to try to write a beginning to your stories. So what do we include in the beginning of a story? You must introduce the
Character and the setting.
the characters, the setting, and maybe the first problem. Okay?
But I don't have that one.
Well, if you where you posted it, so they're on Google Drive. They are still on Google Drive. All your plans. All right. Is there any questions about that? So remember, it's just the beginning. You don't have to do the whole thing. Just the beginning.
Okay. Bye-bye. I'm going to eat my breakfast.
If you've written a story already, can you look at it again? Make sure you use past tense verbs and descriptive language. And I don't want the whole story. I want just the beginning.